In this video, we're going to show you how to fit a brand new set of Vertigo covers. This particular one on a DG1000 has come straight from our UK factory, straight out of the bag, and all the bungees and tensioners are attached, they're just not set to the length. So we're going to run through all the features on setting up your brand new set of covers. Starting with the cockpit cover, insert the nose into the front of the cover and drape the rest of the cover over the cockpit, working your way aft towards the trailing edge of the wing.
So the trailing edge has an extra strap with an adjustable hook. It's really easy to use. There's some built-in teeth that allow the bungee to slip through, and then when you engage the teeth by just pulling against it, you'll hear a click. The shock cord is engaged in the teeth. Then you can attach it to the trailing edge of the wing and it will give you lots of tension. The reason behind this one is when you're not using the rear fuselage and you're just using the canopy cover, it will stay secure on the aircraft. It can't blow forwards if the aircraft's facing downwind. So nice and secure. This again, you can shorten this up if you like, if you don't want the tail. Our suggestion would be to always use heat to seal it, whether that be a lighter or a hot knife. And it's always quite good to tie a knot in the end, just so that this hook can't come off should you disengage the teeth and lose it. But that's the trailing edge hook.
And we'll repeat this for the other side.
This is where the straps need tightening. So you can see that this one is way too slack. There's not enough tension pulling down on the seam or on the material. So simply unclip it. To take the hook off the bungee, you twist the barrel at the bottom. Then twist the bungee, which removes the hook. If you leave the barrel on, that can make life easier, and you can pull a bit of tension, slide it down to where you think it's going to pull nicely. You can see it taking the creases out. Grab your scissors. That's the bit you don't need. The barrel is still on the bungee. Push the bungee into the hook and then push the barrel back over the bottom of the hook. It's nice and secure, and then you can hook it on. So when the canopy cover is used in conjunction with the complete set, we have this section under here, and this is trying to reduce the amount of UV exposure even to the bit just under the wing. But of course, when you don't have the fuselage cover on, this bit is a bit redundant and sort of flapping around. So the best thing to do is, if you're just using the canopy cover on its own, tuck that bit behind, and then when you tow out or when it's sat on a windy airfield, it's not just going to flap around and beat itself up. So do it like that. Then when you engage the rear of the cover, you can pull it back and clip that strap on, and then that also gives a nice bit of aft tension which pulls the creases out of the cover.
Now we work our way to the back of the aircraft, collecting the fin cover. We start by putting the top of the rudder blade into the top of the fin cover, then making sure the rudder is encased in the rear, pulling the cover round to the front, making sure the pitot goes into the pocket, and then doing up the vertical Velcro, securing it nicely so that it will withstand any of the weather conditions. Now with the tailplane cover, we have two sides. One side has a zip, the other side is completely enclosed. So we feed the tailplane into the enclosed section, then we pull the other section around the leading edge, then around the trailing edge. We do the zip up, and then we pull the back over the top of the fin to stop the weather going down the back of the rudder blade. The leading edge also has a collar that stops the weather getting in there, and the zip has a safety on it to stop it opening in high winds. With the fuselage cover, we now start at the front, connecting it to the back of the cockpit cover. We can then unroll it down the fuselage, keeping it off the grass. All the way down to the back and tacking it onto the fin cover. Once it's tacked, we've then got complete control over it in any wing conditions, and that saves it being blown onto the grass. Velcro has a habit of picking up grass blades, so we try to avoid this at all costs. Then we go back to the front, we tidy up all the Velcro, making sure it's all neatly aligned. The flap should then snugly fit in around the trailing edge. The rear section is then pulled nice and tight, reducing the creases, and we tension it up, Velcro it down, and then we start doing the bungee straps.
Cool. And then the next stage is bungees, which will all need tensioning, I think.
The reason for putting the tension in is it just allows the water to run off smoothly. Adjusting the buckles is the same process as the cockpit cover. Choosing your length, shortening the bungee, applying the hook, and pushing the collar back down into place to secure the bungee. Clip it back on, and the cover pulls up to tension. Repeat this across all of the belly straps. The last part of the fuselage cover is under the wing. Both cockpit and fuselage cover have additional triangles just to try and hide a bit more of the airframe from the UV. We need to adjust these bungees to length so that the triangles are pulling in towards each other, flattening out the cover and covering that part of the fuselage. And that's the fuselage section complete. While we're here, we can do the strap that's on the wing flaps. So this tensions it up, pulling the Velcro in tight, keeping the wing nice and secure. It keeps the rain out of the root joint, so we just need to adjust the bungee. Put the hook back on, clip it in, and everything's pulled up to tension. Now with the wing covers, this particular set of covers has our rapid zip, a really easy function of how to fit the covers, especially with winglets. So by simply laying the wing at the tip end, you can see the tip cover is now being put over the tip. That part of it's enclosed. So we can pull the cover down into place so that the tip is nice and secure and it's filling out that part of the cover. You can lift the trestle out the way, put it back under. Now the wing is nice and secure. You've got that tip in place. You can simply unroll the cover down the length of the wing. As you do so, the netting part of the wing cover will fall over the leading edge. You can Velcro the inboard end to the cockpit cover. That will hold it in place on windy days. Make sure the netting falls over the leading edge and is draped down. Grab the big zip and then just work your way all the way down the wing until you get to the root. Just ensure that the over wing flap that is on both the fuselage and the cockpit cover is over the top of the wing and Velcroed down. There's 2-inch Velcro here that will secure the wing in place and keep the water out of the root. And that's the wing fitted. The wings have additional bungee tensioners on the underside. These are red and green to help identify port and starboard. but you can also set these to a different tension. So should it be windy and you want the wing covers tighter, you can shorten the bungee, or, as most do, just leave it at the standard length. And that's it, a complete set of Vertigo covers fitted to this 20-metre two-seater in a matter of minutes. The glider is now nicely wrapped up, protected from anything that Mother Nature can throw at her, and she's ready for another day's flying.
Thanks for watching this video. Give us a follow for more great content and covers in the future.